Hi everybody, and thanks for stopping by. Today I want to share with you probably the start of this website, the start of my passion about going green, and where all of this kind of came from. This is probably the most important blog post that I make on here because this is where it all came in for me. And if you're a parent, I think you'll probably understand why when you hear the story. But I have a son who's now 8. But when he was born, most doctors will tell you that you can't actually diagnose a child with allergies till they reach a certain age. But I can tell you that my little boy had to be on allergy medicine starting at about 3 months old, where it was full time. Some doctors will say you can't diagnose it that early on, but the poor kid needed it. And by the time he was 4, he was on at least 6 different medicines, some daily, at least 5 doses a day. Some of the medicines weren't daily, but every day he had to have at least 5 doses of certain medications, and then the other things were as needed, like his breathing treatments, his inhalers, and all of these different things. This poor little boy, he was always sick. But he did great in the summertime. So it wasn't necessarily a seasonal allergy problem. Summertime was his best time because he was out of the house and everything was fine. But I had just kind of come to live with what it was. I'd taken him to several specialists. They'd done all the allergy testing. Took him to a pediatric allergy specialist. They did all the testing. Nobody could figure out what exactly he was allergic to. He wasn't allergic to any of the normal things that most people were allergic to. So I learned the hard way that whenever they can determine a child has indoor allergies and they can't pinpoint exactly what it is, 9 times out of 10 they assume it's dust, because that is one of the things that most people are allergic to in the house. So when he was about 18 months old, it was determined, okay, it's got to be dust. So I went with it was dust. I cleaned regularly, make sure not to have dust buildup. I had hardwood floors as much as I could because you can see the dust on them more than you can in your carpet that had to be vacuumed. I had my husband leave the house like on Saturdays for a few hours for me to vacuum and open the windows because it would stir up so much dust. I wanted to get that out, use a fan, get it out, whatever, before he came home. I had a pretty strict regimen. He had a strict regimen that we had followed to kind of keep him where it was manageable. And I had just assumed this was how he was going to be. I felt horrible for him. We were getting ready to go through the shot therapy to try to help, which if you've had to do that, it's at least 2-year process, just to hope to cure them. Otherwise, he was going to kind of be that kid who, didn't get to do a lot of things sports-wise, and I had just assumed that's what he was going to be. And I tell you all this because one day, it was an Earth Day special, and I love Oprah, so I was watching Oprah, and I always love watching her little specials. I was watching an Earth Day special. And I saw a video, or I saw a product she was presenting, and I saw a couple, their names were Roger and Sloan Barnett, and they had a son who had a very similar situation as my son, it seemed, only their son's reaction was asthma. And they had the same, type of concerns. Where's this coming from? We don't understand. And they could never really pinpoint what it was. And I really related to their story. And they were talking about these cleaning products that they had used and how their son was totally fine. And they, of course, were much more well off than me. They had bought the company. And so that was, their giveaway. They were giving everybody this great starter kit and everything. And I thought, well, it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing to think of, but I'll give it a try. It's worth it for him. And so then I also started doing research on household cleaners and different things and started looking at my cleaners. And I was horrified. And everybody always says, oh, it's fine. We've been using it for years. The more I read, we are not fine. It's not fine that we've been using it for years. We have cancer like crazy. All of these horrible illnesses that go on that weren't as prevalent before. And so I started doing this and it kind of freaked me out. So by the time I got the cleaning kit, I was like, I'm on board with this. I got rid of my cleaners the way I was supposed to. Most of them, you have to go through departments to get rid of them, which I did not even know. You're not supposed to put them into the trash. Did all the things I needed to do. And I switched my house over, purged everything else, and started doing it. So I had been following my normal cleaning regimen, as always, for about a month when I had to have my wisdom teeth pulled. And I tell you that I had to have my wisdom teeth pulled because it makes me feel better about the story, because I feel horrible about what I did. So I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and I was kind of out of it for a couple of days. And I was always very strict about Jackson's regimen. And gosh, it was about the 3rd day, and I was laying down, and I thought, holy crud. I haven't given Jackson his allergy medicine. It just hit me all of a sudden. I didn't give him his medicine. We were at least 4 days into this where he had not had his medicine, and I was freaking out. But he was fine. And I really wasn't sure what was going on.
Normally, if something had happened where he skipped a medicine, he could skip one medicine. If it had been 2 days, eyes were swollen, third day, you go to the hospital. We had been through this before with having to try new medicines. I had been down this road, and he was okay. So I took him to the doctor, told him what happened, because I didn't want to just up and take him off of his medicine. So, of course, they suggested that we wean him off of the medicine and just see how it went. So I did that. I weaned him off the medicine, and he was fine. Come to find out, he was allergic to something that was in the majority of the cleaning products. It could be a lot of different things. There's so many chemicals in there. It could be formaldehyde. There's so many different chemicals, and they're not going to inject them into a child to find out which one they're allergic to, but it's actually very common. But they don't mention that. They would rather do the skin test first to tell you all this stuff. So, long story short, I took all of him off of that, and he's now 8, and he's never had to take allergy medicine. His school has changed over. There has been a couple of times when he does go to family members' house, if maybe like it's in the winter and he's closed in, he'll have a reaction when he comes home. So the doctor has us keep some allergy medicine on hand just to be treatable. But besides that, he's a perfectly fine kid. And what if I had not gotten my wisdom teeth pulled and had not forgotten to give him his medicine? I may have never known. But good thing is, I guess, that I did. And I say that because I feel horrible that I forgot his medicine. But it was actually a good thing. So this post that I'm writing about using non-toxic cleaners is an absolute passion of mine. It's actually what started me thinking about other green choices I could make in my house, and understanding that going green wasn't always about saving the planet. While that's good, we are usually selfish people. By nature, we're selfish people. Going green is actually about being healthier. And going green will save you money, as you can see on a lot of my other blog posts. But I was actually so passionate about it. I couldn't buy the company, but I started my own business with it. So I do use the cleaning products, and they have various other products, and I run a home business by doing that. But that's how passionate I was about it. I would never go back. I changed my detergent. I changed everything in my house, and I'm so happy with it. But this post is so important to me because it's really where my passion came from. And if you're a parent, I'm sure you can understand that your passion would be your child too. But I will tell you, trying out the starter kit is definitely something that you should consider. It will save you money, first of all. It will save you $2,400 in the first year. Save a lot of bottles. It just all around is a good deal and a good idea. But it's really something you have to decide for your household, because if you don't go into it and really do the plan and purge or other things, you're not going to get the same value of it. You need to get those toxins out of your house. So I just wanted to share with you today because this is such a great story for me, and I love to be able to share, and I love to be able to share why I'm so passionate about Shaklee products. So hope you enjoy the information, and let me know if you have any questions.